the uncomfortable element that ruined the Big Bang. An unexpected guest at the universe's party. It turns out the universe was formed with an almost insultingly precise mathematical balance. Everything lined up as if someone had cheated on the most complex physics exam in history. Until, of course, lithium showed up to mess it all up. The very same lithium you have right now in your phone, in the battery you're draining while watching this video. What role does lithium play in the greatest story ever told? Enough to make the most serious cosmologists on the planet nervous. Welcome to Mind-Blown Space, where what doesn't fit, we love. Subscribe and fasten your cosmic seatbelt. For decades, the Big Bang Theory stood firm like a house of cards, reinforced with cement. Observations, models, cosmic microwave background radiation, everything seemed to be exactly where it should. But there was one small problem. When physicists started counting the primordial elements of the universe, the numbers didn't add up. And we're not talking about a tiny decimal typo. We're talking about a miscalculation as annoying as finding sugar in the salt shaker. The theory predicts precise amounts of hydrogen, helium, and lithium. With the first two, everything was perfect. But when it came to lithium, the model collapsed, as if someone had spilled coffee on the universe's Excel sheet. Lithium simply isn't where it's supposed to be. And to make matters worse, when they do find it, they find it wrong. In the form of an isotope that, according to predictions, should barely exist. What the hell is going on? To understand it, we have to travel back, way back, to that first infernal second after the Big Bang. In that micro-instant, the universe was so hot that any attempt to form atoms was like trying to make ice cubes inside a volcano. But when the temperature cooled down just a little, that is, only 1,000 times hotter than the core of the sun, the first atomic nuclei began to form. Hydrogen, helium, and yes, a tiny pinch of lithium. Everything was fine, until they started looking. And what they saw was baffling. The oldest stars, those that work as cosmic time capsules, had 3 times less lithium than they should. Did it disappear? Did it never exist? Or does the Big Bang Theory simply need a little cosmic patch in its beta version? And that, my friend, is the crack in the cathedral of cosmology. A tiny element, a giant mystery. The perfect theory that tripped over a soft atom. Let's be clear, if the universe were a perfect crime, lithium would be the fingerprint that ruins everything. Picture the scene. Scientists in suits, figuratively of course, most wear hoodies checking their models, their predictions, their computer simulations, and everything's going wonderfully. Until a lithium atom shows up and says, "Good afternoon, I came to ruin your party." Because yes, lithium had to be there. It's one of the 3 elements that, according to the Big Bang Theory, were formed in those first minutes of the universe. Alongside the omnipresent hydrogen and the obedient helium, lithium was supposed to occupy a humble but stable spot. But no, not only does it appear in absurdly low quantities, but when it does, it shows up in the wrong form. An isotope that shouldn't even be there, with an abundance that feels like a cosmic joke. And no, it's not that scientists are bad at math. In fact, that's what they do best. Models of the early universe are calculated with a precision that's frightening. Predictions about the ratio of hydrogen and helium match millimetrically with what we observe. That makes lithium the weird cousin of the atomic family. Everyone turns their back on it because it doesn't behave as it should. But of course there's a tempting explanation. And by tempting, I mean deeply annoying. What if lithium isn't wrong, but we're measuring it wrong? What if our tools, no matter how impressive, simply aren't good enough to accurately assess lithium levels in the oldest stars of the universe? The problem is you can't put a star in a lab. You have to rely on spectroscopy, analyzing the light it emits and deducing its composition from that. Sounds very elegant, but in practice it's like trying to know what's in a soup just by looking at the steam rising from the pot. And meanwhile, lithium is still there, defying the most pampered model of modern physics. Neither the best telescopes nor the most powerful simulations have managed to reconcile the model with the observed reality. And we're not talking about a tiny technical detail. We're talking about a problem annoying enough that some scientists have begun to wonder if the Big Bang really happened the way we imagine. And that, of course, is fuel for the fire of alternative theories. When the universe needs an urgent software patch. Modern cosmology is like that arrogant guy who's always right, until he makes a mistake and sweeps it under the rug. Well, That rug is called lithium, and the bump is starting to show. Let's break it down. If lithium is wrong, there are two options. Either the observations are mistaken, or the model is broken. The first would be a relief. The second would be an academic earthquake of cosmic proportions, because if something as basic as lithium doesn't fit, what makes us think we understand anything else about the early universe? Some scientists have tried to squeeze lithium into the model like a shoe, 2 sizes too big. They add new variables, introduce quantum effects, invoke exotic neutrinos, and even toy with dark matter. It's like watching someone fix a piece of furniture with duct tape, staples, and sheer goodwill. One of the most bizarre but technically possible explanations is that the original lithium did form, but was later destroyed. Why? By what? When? Well, this is where science starts to look dangerously like a badly written mystery novel. Some blame internal processes in stars, that they ate it, that they transformed it, that they sent it on vacation to another dimension. The problem is that those theories are too flexible. They can explain anything, except why lithium shows up where it shouldn't, and disappears when we're looking for it. It's like a cosmic magician doing tricks with the periodic table. So what do we do with a model that gets almost everything right, but fails spectacularly with something so elementary? Some propose not throwing it all overboard. Instead, they suggest adding corrections. As if the universe were a computer program you can just install a patch on and be done with it. The hot Big Bang model has been running for decades. It explains the expansion of the universe, the cosmic microwave background, the ratio of hydrogen and helium, and most of the chaos around us. But of course lithium is still there, like that system error flashing red every time you open the file. So yes, maybe the Big Bang happened more or less as we think, only with small details that don't add up. And those details, dear viewer, are usually the ones that end up dismantling empires. What if the universe is playing with loaded dice? Here comes the fun part. Some physicists, tired of going in circles about the issue, have started to consider that the problem isn't lithium nor the theory, but reality itself. Yes, that's how desperate we are. Because when one piece doesn't fit, and you swear the puzzle is well made, there comes a moment when you wonder if someone isn't using another picture on the box. Some cosmologists have suggested that maybe the universe didn't begin with a singularity as dictated by the classic model, but with something more creative. Something less mathematically correct, and more, let's say, rebellious. There are theories that propose a cyclic universe, others speak of parallel universes colliding, and some even throw in quantum variables that alter the physical laws right at the moment of cosmic birth. Literally, we're using sci-fi patches to explain a soft atom. And meanwhile, lithium is still there, unperturbed, inexplicable, as scarce as it is annoying, an element that should have been irrelevant, but has become the thorn in the side of modern cosmology. Because we're not talking about a technical detail, number. We're talking about a blatant contradiction between what should have happened and what we actually see. And when that happens in science, there are two paths. Either you adjust the theory, or you accept that you've been looking at it wrong all along. Maybe one day we'll perfect our observations. Maybe we'll discover that lithium was devoured by some stellar reaction we don't yet understand. Maybe. But in the meantime, this mystery will keep floating like an awkward bubble in the perfect soup of the Big Bang. And that, my friend, reminds us that even the most solid models can wobble because of a tiny anomaly. That even the most elegant universe can have its weak spot. And if the universe has a weak spot, what else could be wrong? So next time you look at your phone and see the battery in red, remember that the little bit of lithium powering your device might be exposing a cosmic lie of epic proportions. Subscribe to Mindblown Space, where mystery is our fuel and science, our favorite playground. See you on the next stellar journey.